Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm making this video about the coronavirus conspiracy. There's so many conspiracy theories out there that this virus was generated or created in a laboratory in China and other things. So I thought I should put my 2 cents in here and tell you my version of the conspiracy theory. So, let's begin with the population problem. We have a massive population problem, as we are all aware of. 7 billion people on the planet. They say in the next 50 years the planet won't be able to sustain us. It's true, but if you look at the history, in the last 500 years the population has grown so rapidly and so massively. And it's because of a number of reasons. Obviously people are having a lot of sex and having more babies. There's a lot of poverty, and in some countries where people don't have anything else, they have children, and the more children you have, the more income you have, so they end up producing more kids because then they send them out to work. If you've lived in a third world country, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then there is the medical advancement. So many countries around the world and scientists and medical advancements, they have made it possible for human beings to live much longer. In the past, even 100 years ago, 35, 40, 50 was the normal age, and then people tend to sort of die. But we've managed to extend the lifespan, and people are living up to 100 and even more, which has a massive burden on the healthcare systems and the society, and the people live longer. Good thing, but also a bad thing for the environment and the planet. We keep talking about the planet dying because of plastic and all this. It's dying because of human beings. We're just too many of us. So would it be weird to think that a type of virus was created in a lab that would target a certain type of population to ease the burden of the planet? 1% of 7 billion is 7 million, I think. My maths isn't great, so. But I don't think 7 million will cut it, because I think we need, if we were to do a population cull and reduction, we'd need to reduce at least 1/3 of the world's population, or we're all screwed. So I mean, I'm saying all these things very coldly and calmly, but because I'm a very rational and calm person, this is not about emotions. This is about the survival of the human race. And I, for one, am one of those people who believes that human race should be saved. So if we have to sacrifice some people, including me, I'm okay with it. But I'm sure there are other people out there who are thinking about it and doing things. You can't just go and do mass murders and kill people, and you can... the world has changed and civilized, so killing millions and millions of people is not possible, and not humane either. So I think maybe they've created a virus to take care of it quietly, targeting the vulnerable and the old and the people who are ill, and maybe some of those who have genetic weaknesses, because the human being and the human civilization in various shapes and forms has always been trying to do genetic engineering and improving our genes and the species and how we adapt and live. And that's how biology works as well, survival of the fittest. Those who have problems end up dying, unfortunately, and that's a fact. So there is a big possibility this virus could have been created in a lab, because anyone who believes that human beings are really lovely, nice people hasn't read history. Because if you look through history, for thousands of years people have been killing and butchering other human beings, and both like with guns and swords and knives, as well as with sinister ways in laboratories. So would this be a big surprise? No, not really. There's a program on Channel 4 that was aired a few years ago called Utopia, and that's all about this conspiracy theory of people who were a group of people who wanted to save the planet, basically, and they decided they're going to reduce the population by releasing a virus, and they had come up with some genetic code that people with a certain type of gene pool would not be affected, and so that was like a story and a suspense and a thriller show, but in reality it's all possible. Genetic engineering can target certain genes and things. In my personal point of view, I don't believe that human beings should play God. So if you ask me how this could be done, and I wouldn't say we should target specific races or genetics. I would say just pick an age, anyone above that goes. And for me, I mean, I would include myself in that age group, because you can only be sincere and honest about your views if you are willing to sacrifice yourself, and otherwise you're just using other people for your cause. The other thing that I find very fascinating and strange is that all the people I know from various religions who are very religious, Muslims, Christians, Hindus, Jews, the ones who believe in God and pray and go to churches and mosques and synagogues and Buddhist temples, they're all afraid of dying. And when I meet atheists, they're not afraid of dying. It's very bizarre, because if you love your God so much and you want to meet your maker, you should be fine with the death, because that gives you the afterlife that you believe in, and if you meet your God and eternal life. But for some reason, I don't believe in God, or not the typical religious God that most people believe in, and so I'm not afraid of dying. I think that I've had a good life, and if it would save the human race, then that would be fine with me. Anyway, this isn't about sacrifices and things. This was just about making a video to say, well, there is a possibility. We are the parasites, and maybe this is an antibiotic that the planet or some people have released to deal with the parasites. Because if you think about it, we used to have this whole thing about killing the Amazon jungle and cutting trees and destroying things, that we moved into the use of plastic bags, because paper was being excessively used, wood was being excessively used. So instead of burning coal and log fires, we moved into electric and gas and water heating and different ways of adapting and changing to save it. But then we moved into carrier bags and plastics, and now the whole world is making this big fuss about plastic bags is destroying the world. Well, it's either plastic bags or it's paper bags. It's either trees or just dumping plastic into oceans. So change your habits instead of just changing the type of thing you... And the other thing is, it's so stupid. When you go to the supermarket, everything on every shelf is in plastic in some shape or form. It's either a plastic bag, it's a wrapper of some kind, it's a plastic bottle, but then when you get to the counter, you're not allowed to use a plastic bag. Hang on. All the products that I've just bought and purchased, even the bananas and fruit, they're all in plastic bags. So if we really want to change the world and save this planet, we need to change our own habits. And that would mean taking a glass bottle to get the milk, or having the milk delivered in a glass bottle that you recycle and send it back. Taking bags and baskets to get groceries like we used to many years ago, instead of having everything packaged in plastic. So yeah, people don't want to do anything. I mean, if you look around, this whole coronavirus thing, do you really think the human race is worth saving? when you go to the supermarket and people are going crazy over things that they could not possibly use. If you're going to contract the virus and you're going to die, it will probably happen within the first 14 days. After that, your toilet paper will just be sitting on a shelf. I mean, it's shocking that I didn't really actually believe it, that the supermarkets would be so empty. But today I went to get some stuff and the shelves were empty. Pasta, meat, rice, whatever you looked at, gone. So suddenly people have just gone out and bought everything and they're hoarding stuff. So those who can't afford to buy in bulk, who don't have enough money to spend in one go, won't have it. So this shows people are not very nice, generally. They don't think, they blame the world, they blame someone else. They want the government to fix the problems. They don't want to take any responsibility. So maybe this conspiracy theory is correct. Maybe the coronavirus is created in a lab. And maybe we'll fix the population. Or it won't. Who knows? But there's so many theories, so I thought now is the time I should create a vlog. It's 16th of February 2020. In case I'm not around in a couple of weeks, then at least this vlog will be there, and if any of these theories are correct, then I will be remembered. Maybe some aliens will watch my video and say, that guy was smart. Or very, very stupid. Who knows, but it's fun to make a video anyway. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Stay safe. Take care.